Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. I've currently been kicked out of my house as it's being viewed for sale, so I had to do it outside this time. But anyway, let's get into it. The 2019 Japanese Grand Prix. I thought it was a pretty good race. Not necessarily a lot of on-track action, especially at the front of the field, but it was quite a tactical race. I quite enjoy those races. I know people always just want to see on-track action, but I thought it was actually a pretty interesting race. Not one of the absolute all-time greats, but not a bad one anyway. So let's look into Saturday. Saturday, the usual from what we've been seeing at the minute, Ferrari just absolutely dominating on over one lap. Obviously they're just able to turn those engines up just like the Mercedes were for the last few years, but they seem to have the advantage of it at this moment in time. So obviously, yeah, they got a front row lockout. Mercedes just behind. I was a bit disappointed with the Red Bulls. I thought that they were I really thought they were going to bring something to Japan. Obviously, we saw them saving. Well, I thought they were saving the engines in Russia. Obviously, taking the penalty to get the new one. And then I was just thinking, oh, they've obviously just turned it down so they can give some sort of full VTEC beans in Japan. But that never materialised. So anyway, on to Sunday. What on earth was going on with Ferrari again? I mean, me and my friends were joking about it. How long is it going to be before Ferrari throw this 1-2 away? And it was actually quicker than anyone thought, because by the end of the first lap, we had one who had pretty much everyone thought was going to get a penalty for his false start, and one that crashed into a Red Bull on the first corner or second corner, and that pretty much ruined his race. So typical Ferrari, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it that quickly, but it was actually quite funny to watch. Glad I'm not a Ferrari fan. Mercedes, again, absolutely just, there's no weak links in that team, there really isn't. I mean, we very, very rarely see them make any mistakes, and that's why they're able to win over a season every single year, 6 years in a row now, and massive congratulations to them for that. I can't hope someone wins other than Mercedes next year, just because, well, it's getting a little bit boring now, but I mean, you can't deny the job they've done has just been sensational, really, and they deserve it all. We've had, the last 3 seasons at least, we've had, the Red Bulls and the Ferraris who are able to win races, but they can't compete over a whole season, whereas every single race we go to, Mercedes, then, even if they're not the favourite, they're expected to be there or thereabouts, which is what's going to win them championships, and that's exactly what they've done. And combined with Lewis Hamilton, I love him or hate him, you can't deny how brilliant he is. And yeah, I think that's just what's winning the championship. The consistent drive, a consistent team. There's no weak links in that chain, and they seem to deliver week on week. So yeah, that seems to be why they're doing it. Onto Red Bull again. Shame we didn't see the potential of the Red Bull, particularly in Max's hands with the incident at the start. Obviously nothing to do with him. Well, he was involved in it, obviously, but it wasn't his fault at all. I certainly didn't think so anyway. I think that's the opinion of everyone. Obviously the stewards gave Leclerc a penalty after that. Still not sure what's going on with the stewards, to be honest. They don't seem to have a clue what's going on. 1 minute they're investigating, the next minute they're not investigating, and then next minute they're investigating again, and then decide after the race they're going to give a penalty, which I really don't understand why it took them so long to give a penalty. Obviously with Vettel's as well, I was really surprised that wasn't a penalty. I think it was Ferrari international assistant possibly coming into play again then. So yeah, interesting race with the top 3 teams. Not really much to mention with the midfield, because obviously we never get to see the midfield. Carlos Sainz, obviously brilliant 5th place again, but I wouldn't even know he raced if he wasn't on the final standings, so who knows with that one. Daniel Ricciardo, really, really good performance. Obviously the Renault's now under investigation for, I think it's an ECU issue where their brake bias is changing every single, it's automatically changing every single corner, which is obviously illegal. And if they've been found out to not only do that in Suzuka but a few other races, then that could be a serious penalty. I reckon they'll be chucked out of the championship, both championships, obviously, if that is proved to be the case. So yeah, not really much else to say on the midfield, to be honest, because we just really don't get to see much of them at all, really. There was a few battles. We saw the Toro Rossos battling a little bit with the Alfa Romeos, I think it was, but yeah, not really much to say there. So anyway, on to Mexico. I'm really hoping that Red Bull do well here. Obviously, it's a high altitude track in Mexico, which the Mercedes seem to really suffer with. This was probably one of their weakest races last season. I think Hamilton came, was it like 6th or something like that? I'm sure I've got 9th in my head, to be honest. I know he nearly got lapped by Verstappen anyway. So yeah, interesting one to see how they go there. Hoping the Red Bulls can do well, but who knows how the Ferraris are going to get on, because they're just, especially over one lap, you know, they're probably going to get pole again, and then probably lose it again in the race through tactical or driver error. So yeah, wait and see. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good one. If you did like this video, I'm quite surprised as normal, but please do hit the like and subscribe button. Hopefully I'll make some more better quality videos soon. Thank you very much.